Welcome back to the Fee King Show. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Fee King. This is the Fee King Show, and I am just getting my light together because I was like, what happened to my light? I think I have to press the button. I am your hostess with the mostest, who is wearing all of the hats, metaphorically, literally, but not yet. Physically, I tell you, we do so many things as entrepreneurs, and listen, we gotta get this light right because it's important to me. It is important to me. It doesn't matter whoever else it's not important to, but it is important to have your light right. And my guest today knows oh too well about the importance of light. And so it's not perfect. However, there's no such thing as perfect. Welcome back to the Fee King Show. I'm your hostess with the mostest, your local fitness go-to girl, Fee King. The Fee King Show is all about who are you on a cellular level? Who are you during the highs, during the lows, when you're in that middle part, when you're in the in-between of life? Who are you when you're getting promoted, when you're in love, when you're doing all the things that you love to be doing, have, versus who are you when you are in it, when you are in the storm, when you are in a cave, when things are looking dark? Who are you? What do you do? What's your why? How in the world are you keeping this thing all together? I.e., what is your self-care modality when you're wearing all of the hats, when you're doing all of the things? What is your, not just your self-care modality, but what is your spiritual practice, as Rev Melissa would so eloquently said? Today, I'm super excited because I have a guest on the Fee King Show. She said yes. She's showing up to show out. Her name is Michelle Larken Bay. This sister is operating in her purpose. Okay, and you know, August we did a sister who's purpose in her pivot. And so I love when I get to connect with women who know their purpose. Michelle, suitably known as a real estate expert and investor, Maryland businesswoman Michelle Larken, 42. Michelle's just putting her age out there, y'all. I love it. Has become a fixture in her profession for customarily purchasing unwanted properties, particularly those in foreclosure or properties that need a considerable amount of work, etc. She emphasized. And I tell you something, if we threw away the things and the people that need work, we would be an empty society. We would have no people, we would have no houses. So I'm super excited to get into this. Without further ado, fam, please welcome to the Fee King Show, the one and only Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hey. Hey. A wonderful Wednesday. How are you, beautiful?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Woo, girl. I am well. Thank you for asking. Michelle, I love your hair. I love your makeup. Let me see your nails.
You know, my nails. So listen, I cut them down. And okay. I'm usually a long nail girl. So this is different for me. So I am out of my comfort zone. Hold on. There we go. Where we go.
Do you like that? So you know what? You've inspired me. I'm going to add to the show nail check.
Nail check?
You know,
okay.
Yes, you know how Wendy Williams does shoe cam?
Yes.
Nail check? Nail check. You know why? Firstly, your nails look beautiful. Secondly,
thank you.
Because mine rarely do, and I want to step up my game, because there was a time when I used to, and I would do my own. I would just paint them, and yes. I've gotten so far away from that. And yes. There's something about pretty nails that just make you feel pretty and feminine.
It just makes you feel like, you know, it's just like an extra touch of beauty, you know? Yes. Because like we extend like the one thing that we extend most of the time are our hands, right? So it's like, yeah, like before we extend anything else, it's our hands, it's our hugs, it's our handshake or whatever. So yeah.
I'm inspired. Listen, I'm inspired. Michelle, let's get into this, because I read on your social media that you have a quote. You said, I am a problem solver. I help solve real estate problems. What does that mean? Michelle, if you don't get that,
So a lot of times people need help, right? So they could be in default. They could have a foreclosure. They could have a family-owned property that they need to get rid of. They may be a landlord in a situation, and they need to handle that situation because they can no longer afford it. So there are a lot of what I call real estate problems.
Mm,
Um, and believe it or not, people are happy when you solve their when you solve their problem. So people have this mindset that everyone wants to keep their real estate. That's not actually true. Some people want to get rid of their real estate. That's actually more of the truth.
that
So,
is so interesting
yep.
because I don't think we think about that. I know
Yep.
I haven't thought about people wanting to get rid of their real estate. That's the first thing.
Mhm.
The second thing is the fact that you are attracted to real estate problems. It just seems why is that? What happened in your life that drew you
That's
to being able to solve people's problems with real
Well,
estate?
that's a really great question. And so I guess I've always saw myself as a problem solver, someone who
Mhm.
wants to make a difference, right?
Yeah.
And so, in real estate, besides helping people buy homes and things of that nature, again, some people do own and they have issues. And again, it could be like a family home. It could be a house that just needs a lot of work and the owner doesn't have the money to do the work.
Right.
And then I come in and I take that problem from the owner and they're like, thank you. So they get a little money, they get out of the problem. They don't have to pay for their taxes and their mortgage anymore. So yeah, so it becomes what my mentor calls, in God rest his soul, a win-win situation. Whereas they win and I win because
Yeah.
I help them solve the problem and I, in turn, I hate saying profits because that's not, I don't like that number. I mean that word, but at the end of the day, it's business. So they enhance my business as well.
I love that word as
Yeah,
a
that's yeah,
alternative. I
yes.
love that. Let's go back a little bit then. Let's talk about, thank you for sharing that because I don't know. So Fatima just said, Lord, yes. I bet she's a black woman. Be honest
I
about your
think so.
situation.
I think she is.
She she speaks like a black woman,
She does.
right?
LAWD.
Hello. Only I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
She says, Lord, yes, be honest about your situation. And she, meaning Michelle, can be honest, knowledgeable, resource, trustworthy advice and guidance. Okay, so then I'm gonna segue, I'm gonna pivot because I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that people have a challenging time with divulging their personal and
Yes.
financial, right? So speak to that.
Yes.
How can
So
we
and that's something as a community, period, that I think we need to come out of, is that
Mhm.
don't be afraid. And then we also have to have safe people. And that's something I think that sometimes we lack, are those people that we feel safe enough to come to or to go to and say, hey, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to buy a house, but my credit is a 400 right now. Or listen, I have this problem. I have landlords that aren't, tenants that aren't paying, and it's been 3 months and I'm behind on the mortgage. So we need safe places for those kind of conversations. And I think that, again, that is something that is lacking. And I devoted myself on this mission that I call my life, to become that safe place for people where they feel like they can come and say, hey, listen, this is what's going on. What can I do? And I become that
Mm.
resource for them. Mhm.
Michelle, I tell you, we need that, not
Mhm.
just minorities, the
Yep.
underserved community, women. Now,
Absolutely.
statistically, more and more women are becoming home buyers
Yep.
and becoming investors. I personally
Absolutely.
never met so many women and Black women
Mhm.
real estate investors until I moved to Maryland. So
Yes.
I applaud you. I applaud the other sisters that I've encountered. You and I have had a conversation when I thought that I was ready to buy. And there's so many layers to home ownership, first
Yes.
time buyer. And you helped me out so much. And I'll be honest though, when it came to the financial, I was really feeling a certain way.
Yes.
Um, and because I had had conversations with other people
Yes.
making suggestions about, okay, before you do this, you
Yes.
need to address your credit score and get it
Yes.
to a certain place. So what advice would you give someone who's listening right now who's like, you know what? I really want to buy, whether it's commercial
Yeah.
or personal. What how can you speak to them?
The first thing I would say is don't be afraid, because most of the times fear is what holds people back. They think they can't because our default is negative. So we always think that we can't do it. It's above us. It's untouchable for us. So the first thing you have to do is change that mindset and say, yes, it is reachable. I can reach this goal of home ownership. And then you do have to go to the layers and say, okay, what do I have to do to get to home ownership or to own some real estate? So what I typically do, when anyone calls me and says, hey, Michelle, I want to buy some real estate, I said, oh, okay. Well, here's your plan. So even if you do come to me and you have that 400 credit score and you're not ready, we come up with a plan of how we
Mm,
can get there and what amount of time that may take if you stick to your plan. So I never tell anybody you're denied or you can't do this, because that is completely weasel, is what I call it. There's nothing you can't do, right? But if
yeah.
you have a plan and a plan and you execute that plan to get there, then you will. So I have a lot of people that I've worked with that started and were like, this is absolutely unreachable. It's always, oh, you're pulling my credit. My credit's probably going to be the worst you've ever seen. I'm like, no, because I've seen some stuff, but we just have to know how to make corrections, because we all have life, right? We all have
Yeah.
gone through something in life, and normally when I look at people's credit, I can tell what happened in 2010, what happened in 2022. Something was happening in your life, and that doesn't mean negatively you stop paying your bills. What's your story behind? Because the credit does tell a story behind. So let's talk about your story, and then yeah, then we're able to get down to what's going on, and then we bring that wall down of fear, and
Mm.
we take fear out of it, and then come up with that plan. So that's important. That part of it is important. And I'm
You
sorry
see
if
this
you
look on my face. I mean,
hear
I'm, huh?
the doggy toy. I apologize. This little puppy.
Girl,
I
listen.
thought I took the last the last puppy toy. I have a puppy and he's in my office, and I
Mm.
thought I took his last toy, but okay.
It's it's fine. Michelle, I want to read this to someone else. I think this woman, I think she's black again. Fatima West, I learned how to build my credit to prepare for home ownership through Michelle and her associates, and it worked. I took her classes, worked the plan, and purchased in Gainbrills, Maryland, and it's a nice neighborhood.
She
Hunty,
sure did.
I
She
am
sure did.
in.
Look, she sure did. And let's emphasize this
Yes,
woman was in the front of my class.
I love
She
it.
sat in the front.
And you know, it's because Fatima is a student of
Yes.
life. And
Yes.
once you stop having a desire to learn, I think you're in trouble. You are in
You are.
trouble.
You
I
are.
think you demystified so much because, and it's not just divulging your personal information to someone in the realty space. It's anyone, whether you're going to
Anyone.
get a business loan. And I
Yes.
don't know the answer to how we as a community can can start to chip away at that. And I
Mhm.
sometimes I think social media makes it even more difficult because you have people on social media who are posting photos, posting videos, saying things and making it seem as if they're doing so well without having any hiccups, any struggles, any
Oh yes.
challenges, right?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
So
So
I
so a
think
lot of people want the celebratory part of it, right? We want to celebrate. We want to, and yes, I celebrate anyone who's reached their goal with me, right? So we're always celebrating. But you best to believe behind that celebration, it's a story.
it's a story.
It's
Ooh,
a story. It's a path. So don't ever get it twisted. Behind me is a story. Okay. I
So
didn't
let's
just
get into
I didn't just magically get here. I have a story, and
it.
there's a bunch of chapters.
Well, listen, I would like to start with your story. Let's go back a little bit. Who
Yeah.
is Michelle Larken Bay? Not what you do, because we're going to get to that, but who
Who am
are
I?
you? Yeah.
Who am I? I am a wife. I'm a mother. I am a spiritual guru. I am a yes. I am a forever learner.
Mm,
Um, I am a friend. I am a sister girlfriend. My God, I could go on.
we have time.
I am
Listen,
I am a part-time now vegan because I do still eat a little seafood and stuff. Y'all see my life, right? I was a vegan for 5 years. I did it straight, but now I'm part-time.
okay,
Um,
all
I
right.
believe that health is wealth. So I love what you're doing, Fee.
Thank
Because
you.
without your health, I don't care how many millions of dollars you have in your life.
Mhm.
That's number one.
Number
That's number one.
one. Yeah,
Absolutely. So the health of your physical, the health of your spiritual, your
yes.
mental, and your
Hmm.
emotional. All those things are important to your health in your wealth.
Absolutely. Okay, then what does Michelle do? Because you've given us a lot, and there's so many titles from uh, broker, agent, loan officer. So tell
Yeah.
us, what does Michelle Larkin Day do?
Well, what do I do?
Yes.
So they call me Real Estate Michelle because I am a one-stop shop, which is which is true. I truly am. So when you come to me, it doesn't matter where you are in your process. It really doesn't because I have credit repair on staff. I can do your financing. I am a loan officer. I'm actually a manager of a branch now. So I have my own, which makes it nice because I can do a lot of amazing things for people.
Mhm.
Um, I'm also a real estate agent. So on top of being able to help you get the financing, I can help you negotiate the contract. And a lot of times I'm actually doing both for my clients.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that I'm always both. Sometimes I'm only the loan officer. Sometimes I'm only the real estate agent. But I pretty much am a one-stop shop. If you want to sell your house, I can't tell you how many people call me and say, I gotta get rid of this. I'm going through a divorce. This is the family house. We're done with it. I'm in a tax problem. I can no longer, deal with these tenants. So that's another thing that I do is I buy nightmare homes and turn them into nightmare houses and turn
Okay.
them into dream homes.
And then you
Um,
sell the dream home to someone else.
yes.
That is fascinating.
So I absolutely love what I do. And I got serious about that. I've been doing it for a while.
Mm,
But I got really, really serious about it about 5, 6 years ago and really started taking on these wait a minute, what year is this? No, it's been about 7 years, almost 6 years, something like that.
okay.
And really, really started you know, bu- buying stuff that basically I'll take it down to the rooter to the tutor. It doesn't matter what's wrong with
Did
it.
you say the rooter to the tutor?
The rooter to the tutor.
I tell you, there are some isms and some sayings that I believe only Black people, because the fact that I know what that means, the fact that
Yeah,
that's why I was like, wait a minute, did she just say the rooter to the tutor?
I said the rooter to the tutor.
I love it. What happened, Michelle? What happened 6 or 7 years ago to make you decide that this is it? This is my yummy, delicious, sweet spot. I'm going to take this serious.
Yes,
I'm going to invest the time and the money and
yes.
do it full out.
And I
What happened?
absolutely. And so it was something that I had been kind of more part-time with. I'll do a
Mm,
deal here, I'll do a deal there, but not really like all the way in as far as the investment side of it. So about that
mhm.
time ago was when I was like, listen, I want to go all the way in. I want to do this. And I really want to do this. And I want to be a Black female rehabber, right? Because there are not a lot of, right? We're like a minority, right? So when I walk in the door and people hear me talking about trades, talking about the HVAC, talking about the plumbing, talking about we need to do this and the amount of square footage and how, they're just like, really? And I'm like, yeah, really, that's me. I know this stuff.
She
So
said, that's
it's
me.
like,
I love it. I
yeah,
love how you celebrate yourself.
like, well, it's almost like, how like a female mechanic, right? And they're
Or
like,
pilot.
and so they look at you like, my God, So I love this space. I love it. I absolutely love it. And again, normally I'm taking a problem off of someone's hands, right?
Yeah.
And I'm turning it into a magical dream home for someone else.
Woo.
Yep.
I tell you, one has got to love it in order to wear all of those hats. Talk about wearing a lot of different hats. You wear a lot of different hats, not to mention that you are a wife, you are a mother. I met your beautiful son. I was like, if the other ones are this amazing, like she is about it. I commend you.
I take that they are my everything. So as far as inspiration, they are my inspiration, my sons. Every day, all day. I love them.
Oh.
And they're grown. Listen, my oldest is 23. You would think I got babies the way I'm talking, right? No, my oldest is 23. My youngest is 15. And I love my kids. I love them to death. They're scrumptious.
And it shows that the one I met, I think he's your youngest.
The middle one, Christian.
Middle one.
Yep.
So sweet, so helpful. I mean, you can tell a lot about how a child has been raised by the way that they move through the world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So absolutely. hands down to you, Michelle. I just want people to get even more clear about just a little snippet of your story. Why real estate? Because I believe if we've really lived, like there's been many iterations of who we are.
Yes.
Like maybe you started out, what did you do before real estate?
Gotcha. So I was actually working in sales before real estate. So I love sales. I was still helping people, right? And I was around people all the time. And I was actually like selling appliances and things like that. And I was making good money. I was in my 20s. I've been doing this for 21 years. So that was cool back then because I was making what I thought was, good money. That's cute, that cute money and everything. And so my coworker, Miss Fran, who I call her my white grandmother, right?
Okay.
I said, yeah, I hope she can see this. I'm going to try to tag her. But I said, hey, Miss Fran, I've been thinking, I think I want to do real estate. We're at work. And she's like, and I'm like, how old am I at the time? 23, I think. Something like that. 23 or 23. I was debating, do I want to go back to school or do I want to start do something else, right? Because I stopped school because I had my son, my oldest son. I was like, I think I want to do real estate. I think I really want to do this. And she was like, oh my God, Michelle. She was like, you will be absolutely amazing at it. Like, I know. Like, she was like my fan, like my cheerleader. And I'm like, you think so? We need that person when we're like on that edge of doubt, maybe, possibly. And she was my person. And she said, as a matter of fact, she said, I took the class and I have the books. Do you want them? And I was like, yeah. So she gave me the books, right? And at the time, because again, this was years ago, the world was different. The class was free. You just needed the books. So I literally.
What?
Yes. So how amazing is God, right? How amazing did that work out that she had the books and the class was free. So I was like, I have no choice but to do this. And so every day at work, I'm like this all day long. And they didn't bother me because they knew Michelle was on a mission. So I would walk around with my little book and stuff, and I was on a mission. Yeah. And so I took the class. I took the class with an amazing teacher. He was like '1 in Maryland at the time. And I went and took the test, and my first go round, I got it.
And so, that Michelle, 2003.
Mm-hmm.
It has been almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
21.
Girl, look at me and my math. Yes, it has been.
Yeah.
Michelle, you serve the entire, is it Maryland or the entire DMV?
The entire DMV.
Where do you specialize though? Because it's a big region. Do you have a
Yes.
specialty, an area that? Yeah. Okay. Where is that?
Yes. So Maryland and DC are those are my things, right? And so Maryland, pretty much all of Maryland. If we're talking about buying, me purchasing a home, well, purchasing a house as a investor, I do have preferences of areas. But
Okay.
if you want to buy real estate, there's no preference. I service everywhere.
Okay. I
Yeah.
have, because I cannot believe that we're almost at time. I have
I
one really quick
know.
question. I know it went so fast. I just learned maybe a year and a half ago that there's a such thing, and it's probably not new, but it's new to me, where there's a company, an organization that has a fleet of houses all over the country. They buy the house and they rent it to you, a rent to own program.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
do you think of that?
There is a program that I participate in as well. And I've put clients in their program, and the program worked out beautifully. And it was working a little better some years ago. I don't do it as much anymore, simply because that one program, they kind of lowball now. And as you know, in this DMV market, you got to highball as far as offers, right? And so even though they come in cash and they'll buy the home on the behalf of the buyer, and the buyer has up to 5 years to actually purchase the home.
Mhm.
Sometimes, in a lot of cases, because they give low offers, their offers are less accepted now. So I don't do it as much as I used to, but I used to do the program a lot, and it is the rent to own program. And I have a lot of clients who can give testimonies of how that program has worked out for them, and it's
Yeah.
worked out beautiful. So that's the only piece that I don't really kind of teeter with right now.
Mhm.
But what I do is that if someone is interested in rent to own, a lot of times they don't realize they can actually buy straight out, or at least have a 6 to 12 month plan to
Yeah.
purchase. Yeah.
Okay. This is exciting. I feel like we need a part two. We need a part two.
Yeah,
So we'll schedule that and have you come back because,
absolutely.
all right, awesome. There's just so much to cover, and I really want to get more into this. So,
Yes,
Michelle, if you can hang out with me for a minute, and because I want to
I
share,
can.
Too Tight Tonya Jones' message for us. This is Wisdom Wednesday. I never listened to the video before I show it live
Okay.
because she always seems to speak to me. And so maybe she's going to speak to
Yes.
you and we can chat about that as we wrap it up. So let's roll with Wisdom
Okay.
Wednesday with Too
Let's
Tight
roll
Tonya
it. Let's
What's
Jones.
up,
roll.
everybody? It is Wisdom Wednesdays with Tonya at the Radical Breath. So today I want to talk a little bit about new beginnings. And sometimes when we're starting on a new path, trying something new, changing our lives, their new goals, we can feel stuck or paralyzed or stagnant because we don't know what the next steps are. We may know the first step, we may know the third step, but we may not know all the steps or what it's going to look like. And the good news is we don't have to. It is okay not to know. It is okay to take a breath, take that first step, and just start. Just start the thing. Because a lot of times once we start, we will learn or things will be revealed or unfold. And we also have that opportunity to leave a little space for the unknown, that little bit of magic and miracles.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
You know what? I do too. And I was typing something. She always, I don't know how she knows, but she's
Yes,
always speaking to me. And that's why I'm so grateful that she shares these little nuggets of wisdom.
I love it.
Michelle,
And
thank
so
you.
I kind of bring it back to like babies, right?
Mm,
They're scared to take that first step, but once they do, they're off to the races.
off to the races.
They're
That
off to
that
the
is a
races.
great analogy. I was having a conversation with this young lady yesterday, because she's like a teacher, and the
Mhm.
kids are between 1 and 3. I was like, I said, you're teaching 1-year-olds? It's not a daycare center; it's a school.
Yes.
She was sharing with me that she has a 1-year-old who went on vacation with his parents, came back 3 weeks later. When the 1-year-old was with her, he was crawling. He came back 3 weeks later. The 1-year-old was walking. And she said, it's because there's another baby in the group who was walking. And she said, I would watch this baby, look at him, and he saw that the baby would, pull himself up.
Yep.
And said, that is what we do. We see someone else do it, and it gives us permission. We're like, oh my gosh, okay, so that's how you do it.
And then you never know who you're inspiring, right? So the 3-year-old didn't know or hadn't a clue that he was inspiring the 1-year-old. You just never know.
You never know. Yep. Thank you so much, Michelle. I'm going to do my
outro for inviting me into this space.
Yeah, I'm going to have you back on for part 2. So just hang out in the green room, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Oh, and folks can connect with Michelle on Facebook at Michelle Larken Bay. Is there another place that I should?
That's a great place to connect with me. I'm also Michelle Larken Loan Officer and Michelle Larken Realtor on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. All right, and I will share more when I share snippets. Michelle, hang out in the green room, okay?
Okay, all right.
This has been the Fee King Show. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Fee King. The time, where does it go? Where does it go? Life is moving so fast. This year is moving so fast. We have literally 3 days left to summer, and then it's going to be fall, my favoritist season of all. I love jumping into fall. I'm a fall baby. I'm a fall whole grown woman. Thank you so much for checking in and chatting with us. If you found any value in the Fee King Show, if you want to know more about real estate, buying, selling, starting where you are, like Tonya Jones said, please reach out to Michelle Larken Bay. Please keep coming back to the Fee King Show and keep sharing with your tribe. I bid you all right, Michelle. So thank you. How you feel?
Thank you. Great. That was awesome.
Great. So, I am serious about having you come on for a part 2, and we'll call it part 2. We'll give it another name, but it'll definitely be part 2 because there's so much I want you to be able to share, and I want to.
Uh-oh, what just happened to my? It's still going.
You better stop. But we're not live.
I don't. Did you? Okay, yeah. Did you see that? It like froze. So I missed like the in between of what you were saying. Mine froze.
Yours froze. Mine did too. And now Sekou's calling me, but I'm gonna call him. Hey, babe, I'm wrapping up with Michelle. Can I? Oh, in stream.